Hi Keshav, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. If you're not comfortable, you can remove these headphones. Otherwise, it would be difficult for you to hold these headphones for 30 minutes, right?
I'll just keep like this, sir.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Can you tell us something about yourself? How many years of experience you have in testing and yeah.
Yeah, my name is Jason, and I have done my MTech in electronics and communication. I belong to Bangalore. I'm presently working in hardware testing field in a defense aerospace company.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to change my field to software testing. I've done a course in manual testing, and I've learned that in agile manual testing and this.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
I
okay,
look
right,
forward for a new one.
great. Okay. Now, Keshav, I want to, I'll give you one test scenario. Okay. Let's say you are supposed to release a product in 5 days. Okay. And you have only 5 days to test a particular product. Okay. Imagine the product being the chair on which you are sitting in this room. Okay. So what will you do in this scenario? Which all test scenarios will you consider for testing?
Firstly, I would like to do smoke testing on the application, whether it is working for all the critical features, like basic functionalities like login or password. Is it executable or not?
Mhm.
I'll be able to. If it is working fine for that scenarios, I can go through the navigation steps and check other steps. If it is not working for the basic critical features itself, then I'll feel that the software is not fit to be released into the market, and it has to be reported that there is a bug or defect.
Mhm. Okay, fine. Now consider there are 3,000 to 3,500 test scenarios for you in your application. Okay, it's a big application. You have almost 3,000 test scenarios with you. You have a good team of 3 to 4 members. Now the management wants you to release this product after 1 week. Then which all test scenarios will you consider for testing? Will you execute all the 3,000 test cases, or will you identify some of the test cases? What would be your approach in this scenario?
Firstly, I would like to ask that customer that what are the features has to be properly working in the beginning stages. What are the urgent requirements of the customers? So I would be testing only those modules, and I'll update them. I think that I can do.
Hmm. Okay. Anything else apart from this?
I can do ad hoc testing on the application, like
Right.
without any proper plan.
Okay. Okay.
Configuration.
Now, right. Now consider this situation. If you are asked in a real-time interview that you have 3,000 test cases and you are supposed to release in 7 days. So what you can answer is you will first of all identify the critical test scenarios. Test cases might be 3,000, but there would be priority based test cases. Let's say for some of the test cases you will give them the priority as high, for some of the test cases you will give them priority as medium, and simultaneously you will give low priorities to few of the test cases. So you will be first executing the high priority test cases. We will also be checking with the customer on the daily basis that, let's say today I executed, for example, 500 test cases example, and I found this two critical defects, so they are also in fixing. So the moment they will get fixed, again they will be retesting, you will be retesting, so again that also time we have to count, right? So simultaneously you need to update management as well as client also that so and so defects have been found and we are going to take this as a test strategy, right? Because 3,000 test cases cannot be executed in a day, sorry, in 7 days as well, right? Then there are some test cases in which you might take some more time as well. Now let's say if there is a simple test case in which you just have to verify that toast message is coming or not, or validation message is coming or not, it's one of the scenario. But at the time there might be one few of the test cases in which the entire end-to-end application flow is required. Then those test cases might take some more time, so you will have to educate customer on that front as well, right? So this is how the approach you can take it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, what do you mean by refactoring?
Pardon, sir?
Refactoring?
Refactoring.
Yeah, refactoring.
Refactoring, I'm not aware of it, sir.
Okay, no issues. See, this is a mock interview. Even if you don't know the answer of the question, you can feel free to say you are not aware. So I'll be giving answer of that question so that if you get this question in a real-time interview, you should be able to tackle it. Now, refactoring is nothing but it is modification of the code without changing its functionality to improve the performance of the code. Okay. Now consider a situation where, let's say you are using a Facebook application. Okay. In Facebook, the moment you log into the Facebook application, you are getting almost every day you are getting 500 to 600 messages. The moment you click on any one of the message, it is taking so much time to load. Okay, so what I will do is I'll tell the developer that whatever mechanism you have kept, whatever code mechanism you have kept, it is not reliable or it is not meeting my performance criteria because it is taking too much time to load and all. This is one of the example. So what he would do is he would go into his code, he will open the code, he will refactor the code. He won't change the functionality. The opening of Facebook, reading the messages on the Facebook remains as it is, right? But he will modify the code. Might be he might use some design patterns or he might use some solid principles, right, to improve the performance, which is called refactoring. Okay. Now let's take an example of a Amazon application. Okay, you are supposed to test an Amazon based application. Now, can you give me few of the test scenarios which are high, few of the test scenarios which are medium, and test scenarios which are of low priority?
Yeah, sir.
Hmm.
When you are trying to test a application and when you type this password and login, after typing, you click the submit button. It is not at all opening and it is showing error. Then that will be called as major. You're asking about priority, no, sir?
Yeah, priority of the test cases or the test scenarios. Let's say you are writing some test cases. Okay, so you will identify few of the test cases which are of high priority, few of the test cases which are of medium priority, few of the test cases which are low priority. Low priority test case means you will test them during the release time, right? High priority test cases means the moment you get a bug in those test cases, you will you will report them as a critical or major defect. Okay. So with respect to Amazon website, which are all test scenarios that you will consider? Do you want me to repeat this question? Hello, Keshav? Do you want me to repeat this question?
Going to some other module.
Yeah.
No, sir, I understand.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah.
When you're trying to navigate through some module in web page or some standalone application, it is not moving to that module and it is going to some other module.
Correct.
That can become the high priority.
High priority test scenarios means you are trying to go to some module, but it's not going to. Okay. So that means you are trying to navigate into that particular Amazon website. For example, you are clicking on home page, but you are being redirected to the payment page. So that's what you are telling is a high priority test scenario. Yeah, that is there. Okay. Which other test scenarios? Yeah. Please go ahead.
Come to this low priority. In Amazon page, like the spelling might be the instead of Amazon, it is AMAZN, or maybe some alignment mistakes or coloring mistakes, or when you're trying to make a payment, it is showing instead of submitted, it is showing something else. Means you're getting confirmation, but some mistake like spelling mistake or wrong information is being shown. But the process thing is happening. That will not affect the business flow, but it will create to some misleading to the customers or users. These constructions like that.
Okay.
It can become low priority.
Mm-hmm.
When we come to the medium, high, low, it will be in between that high and low.
Mm-hmm.
You can fix it in next cycles like that.
Mm-hmm.
Medium will not be fixed, but we have to fix in next cycles. We can fix that defect.
Mm-hmm.
It can be like that.
Right, right. Okay. So when you get the test scenarios of a high priority, means you can take the test scenarios of login functionality, forgot password, new registration, or login with respect to existing user or with respect to new user. Search functionality is not working. Then payment method is not happening, right? And you select one particular item and add them to the cart. Again, these are all the few of the critical functionalities in for the e-commerce website. So you will classify them as a high priority test case. Okay. Now coming to the low priority test case, so that was fine. You mentioned about spelling mistake or some particular link which is not working, which is not being that often used by the customer. So those you can classify as a low priority test case. Medium priority test cases again can be functionality or can be a feature. Let's say you are trying to add multiple products into the cart, remove them, and then try to add same product into the cart. And then if something is not working, right? So that might come in the medium because that can be taken into the consideration into the next test case, into the next sprint. Sorry. Okay. So those are the few of the scenarios. Okay. Now let me share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is an IndusInd Bank website. Okay. Now I want you to test this website and identify the defects in it. Or which are all the test scenarios that you will consider for testing?
Please select the type of access you. Well, when selecting the type of access,
Mm.
the radio button is there. No, sir. Two buttons are there.
Mm-hmm.
Only
You are
one
able
button
to,
should be.
yeah, you are able to see this website, right? Do you want me to zoom it?
You can zoom it a little bit, sir.
Yeah, sure. And I'll do that. Now is it visible?
Yeah. Yeah, sir. So when you're trying to click the radio button, only one radio button should be clickable at a time. And when you move the cursor towards the radio button, that should be highlighted to click that radio button. Cursor nothing but arrow when we move towards that radio button.
Right.
And when we try to click the back button, when we try to click the back button, that arrow, when arrow mark comes towards the back button, when that back button should be highlighted. And after clicking, it should go back to the previous page. Here now it is coming hand symbol. In some applications, we can see that it will be highlighted. Then we can. There is a mistake in transact event transaction.
Yeah, just a second. I was just testing something. It went away. Let me open it again. Yeah, so we are here. Yeah, so you were telling something about view and transact option, right?
Transact word is we can understand, but when you think from user point of view, some confusion to the users. Like you don't know much English. Like normally we use transaction word. transact may create some confusions.
Right. Any
Then
usability issue that you can find on this particular page?
I think question mark is not needed, sir.
Question mark is not needed. Again, one more thing, that if you can identify, the moment I zoom, I also got to realize, you can see the spacing between this this radio button and the view option. And the
Okay,
spacing between these two is not consistent actually, right?
Yeah,
So
there it is more, there it is less.
right, so this is also a defect into this website. Okay, it's not a critical or a showstopper defect, but yes, it's a minor defect. So if you hand over this particular website to the marketing team, right, so they will identify this issue. From a tester point of view, from end user point of view, it might not be that critical. Okay, but yes, tester should get this usability issue as well, right?
Yes, sir.
So that is there.
Yeah.
What else? You can see there, this spacing 24/7, there is a space bar between this. This also should not be there.
Yes, sir.
What else defects do you find on this website?
I think after the note also there is a space.
And that can be there. Apart from this, what you can do is you can click on these particular links and check if they are working or not. The moment
Yes,
I
sir.
showed you this particular link in the Chrome browser, the first test case should come that I will be trying to open this particular website in other Firefox browser or in IE browser above than 7.0 and check whether it is working or not.
Yes, sir.
Right? And then this logo is properly displayed or not. This particular branding is properly displayed or not. Right? This image is, yeah. Okay. The name of this website. Then
Yes.
right, then what else is there? This particular register online is there.
Like near to that register online, there is the lock. I think it is not related to that. It's not matching to that register and lock symbol.
Yeah, might be. So what you can do is you can discuss such kind of scenarios with the product owner or with the business analyst, and you can confirm with them if those particular things are required or demanded from the client side itself. Right?
Yes, sir. Apart from this, I think.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Now I'll give you one scenario. What you did is this page got developed and it came to you for the testing on Monday. Okay, consider this situation. This page got developed by the development team. They deployed the code, they created a build for you, and you started testing. While doing testing, you came to know that view and transact option is working, but view only option is not working. Okay, so you reported a you reported a defect to them. Now what they did is they fixed the particular defect and they gave back this feature again to you for testing. And in that you came to know now this back button is also not working. So this scenario will be considered as a kind of regression testing or retesting scenario.
You found out that like before back button was working, sir.
Yeah, before it was working.
Yeah.
Before it was working.
This is regression testing.
Regression, correct, absolutely. That would be a regression testing scenario. Yeah. Just yeah, just give me a moment. Sorry, Shiva, can you please join at 12:30? We still have 5 minutes remaining.
Okay, no, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, please join at 12:30. No. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. So we were looking into this scenario, right? So I'll repeat the question, Keshav. On Monday, you got the first build for this particular website. In that, you verified these three options: view and transact, view only, back button also. Okay. Now you found that one of these option was not working. Let's say if this particular option was not working, view and transact. Okay. These
Yes.
two things were working and you
Yes.
reported the issue. The development team, they fixed this issue, but they created a problem with respect to this button. Okay, so this will be considered as a regression testing defect, regression defect, because it was working earlier, now it is not working. Now consider a scenario where, yeah, now consider a scenario where on Monday you found defect in this radio button. It was not working. On Tuesday, when they provided you the fix, you had some scenario and again you found that this particular thing is again not working. Then will this be considered as retesting defect into found while retesting or regression testing?
Yeah, if I'm trying to test the application again,
Hmm.
it will be certainly regression testing only because I'll be testing that previous error and also the different defects which I get it at present moment. I'll not be testing only that. If I test only that, it will be retesting. But it is our responsibility to test everything which is dependent to that.
Correct, correct, absolutely. It's our responsibility to test end to end. Now, which all scenarios will you consider for testing while doing smoke testing for this particular page?
I'll be clicking on back button. Then I'll click on radio, both the radio buttons. Well, I'll see whether only one button is clickable at a time, and I'll handle all the three, like view on transact, view only, and back, because that is the main thing in that page. And below there are some links. I'll be trying to even click on that.
Right, right. And apart from this, one scenario you can add in your test cases, whether this link on opening or whether this particular page is getting opened in different browsers or not. So that is also a smoke testing scenario.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this was there. Okay, Keshav, I'm done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Overall, how did you feel that?
Yeah.
How much knowledge?
Yeah. Overall, see, if I want to give you, let's say points, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. So I'll give you 6 or 6.5 points. But now what I would look into you is you are having 2.5 years of experience. So that confidence level should come. See, you are doing testing every day. You're logging defects every day. You are having a good thorough knowledge of regression testing, retesting, smoke testing, and all these things. So that confidence level you have to increase. Okay. The tone of your giving the answer should be confident. Like now you're feeling nervous and then you are giving the answer to me, but you are giving the right answers, my friend, right? You are giving the correct answers. So try to increase the confidence, try to pat yourself, try to back yourself with the confidence level, and then you go for the interview. Definitely you are going to crack the interview because your answers are right. You just have to boost your confidence now. Concepts are clear. I think, okay, then there are some real-time questions that you might get. Let's say if you have to uh, release this particular product for in 7 days, in 10 days, in 5 days, you have this much amount of test case, what will you do? And all those things. So you have to tell them about the approach. The more practical, just think from that point of view. We have 9 to 5 kind of a job and you are supposed to release the product after 7 days. What all things you will do? You won't be testing the spelling mistake, whether it is properly displayed or not. You will be first testing the critical scenario first. So try to tell the same thing in an interview also. The approach, the strategy, that is very important. Otherwise, you might execute 2,500 test cases, but then if you are finding the critical defect on the last day, then ultimately it's a question mark to the team as well, right? So think from that angle and then these questions will come to you in an interview. There's real-time questions on test cases, test scenarios. So you'll have to answer on that level. Okay.
Actually, after studying all this is the first interview I'm attending, sir.
No issues, no issues. Keep watching all these videos. There is so much knowledge available on Google, YouTube, right? And I'm sure you'll get successful in the in your real life, in your career as well. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.